Today I want to invite you to talking about the long trip from German, actually from United States to Asia. So
okay, happy to do that.
Yes, I know right now you are 85.
That's right.
Actually, past 2 months you will be 96. It's a very wonderful age because in China, we retired at 50 or 60. The people were like nothing to do, but you are a legend person who even right now still active in church, support the Chinese ministry here in Jersey. So I hope you can share your experience to let more people feel they are very important, even in the senior age. They can do many things for God's kingdom.
Well, I'll be happy to talk to you about what we've been doing all these years.
Yes, because I know it's a long trip. It's a 14,000 miles trip. How can you have this idea? You want to preach in the Asia people?
Well, there were several ways to get to the place where we were going. We had intended to settle in New Delhi, India, and we applied for visa to live there. And this was to be in November of 2000. And we waited and the visa didn't come. So we left anyway, and we decided that instead of flying to our destination or going on a ship to our destination, that we would go to Germany, where the Volkswagen factory was located, and buy a Volkswagen van and drive overland from Germany to India. And so we set out on our journey.
Yes, in this journey, like Abraham, when God called Abraham, Abraham don't know where to go.
Well, that's yeah, you're right about that.
Yes, why you have this faith? You want to go somewhere you don't have visa, like us.
Yeah.
Every day the visa is a kind of like how to say. It's kind of big thing for Chinese people right now in United States. I don't know you guys, the audience. Like me, we really struggle with the visa issue. How can you go to one country you are confident there are no visa?
Well, we could get tourist visas to these countries, but we had set a date to leave the United States on our way to the destination, which was New Delhi, India. We applied for the visas, and when the time came for us to leave, the visas, we had not heard from the country of India. So we decided we'd leave anyway because we were driving across all these nations with tourist visas. And that was easy to get, but we couldn't even get a tourist visa from India. So we decided we'd go anyway.
Oh, thank you.
And so we went to all of these places over the space of 4 months. Sometimes we would stay in our van, we'd sleep in our van. Sometimes we'd stay in hotels. Sometimes in Europe, where we had missionaries, we would visit with them. And the reason for that was we could get information from them about what they were doing, and we were new. We didn't know what we were going to do. And it was good education for us to travel to all of these countries and to visit with missionaries of Churches of Christ on our way. And finally, we got word from India that our visas had been denied. So we asked our sponsoring church to write the Indian embassy and appeal for getting a visa. They did that. But then they said, no, cannot come. By this time, we had already arrived in Lahore, Pakistan.
In the north of the Pakistan.
Which was the neighboring country to India. And we had a tourist visa to stay there. And when we got there, then I went to the embassy in Pakistan, and I asked for a visa to stay in that country,
Longer.
which was the neighbor to the city or the country I wanted to go to live. And that turned out fine. That was fine.
Yes, I know you are the first generation, maybe the first missionary from Church of Christ to Pakistan.
That's right.
Maybe God's plan is like you to be the first person in Pakistan.
And we were happy about that.
Like George Benson is the first missionary from Church of Christ to China. So, do you know George Benson in that time?
Yes. I didn't know him before we went to Asia, but I knew him. I knew him here in Searcy.
Oh, very good.
After we moved back here.
I read this book. This book was written recently by John Reese.
I wrote it and he published it.
Oh, he published it.
Yeah.
In the page 38, they record all the trip past the cities, past the countries. There are many, many difficulties during the trip. Even in some place like Afghanistan, you pass by some dangerous area which tribes controlled.
Yes.
How do you feel in that time, in the lonely darkness, the long trip? Do you feel fear? Do you feel something like unstable?
No. We had a goal to reach, and we just pressed forward to do that. And God opened the doors all along the way, and we met wonderful people along the way in different countries, and most people were just very nice, and we're happy that we did it that way. And there was a reason for that. For instance, if we had simply got in an airplane and flown to New Delhi, we couldn't have gotten in. But now we're on driving all this way. And besides that, if we had flown and we'd get there, we didn't have a vehicle. We have to buy one. But if we bought one in Germany, we had a vehicle when we got to our destination, which it turned out to be Pakistan. So the decision to do that was a good one. Now, we were not smart, but the Lord took care of people that like us that weren't too smart.
Another question I want to ask you. Before this meeting, you talked to me. That time you bring your family with you together.
Yes.
How do you feel your wife? Like
she's a wonderful lady.
Yes, Jane is a wonderful lady. But my question is, do you guys worry about the kids? If something happens during the trip, the kids are very small. They are just. How do you think their future if something happens accidentally?
No, we were in this together as a family, and we believed the Lord would take care of us as we travel along, and He did. My wife had a gallbladder attack.
Yes.
And it happened in a city as we travel along. It happened in a city, and we were able to go to a hospital, and she got care, and then we carried on till we got to Pakistan. And when we were there, she had another attack, and we had a good doctor. And eventually, she had surgery in Pakistan for the problem we had. But no, the children were wonderful. It was a great trip for them. They were learning things, and if you would ask them about the journey, they'd say, "Oh, it was wonderful."
But in China, we are some people that they ask me this morning. We have a morning meeting. They ask from the homeschool. Are you in Pakistan? You homeschool them? You send them go to the public school or private school in Pakistan?
Well, when we went to Pakistani schools when we got there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a difficulty for them, I think.
Yeah. In fact, our children all graduated from schools in Pakistan.
Oh.
And it was good education. They had a good education.
Then your kids come back to United States as a high school student or went to college here in United States?
Our eldest daughter and our eldest child of 3, she came back by herself from Pakistan to Harding University. And she graduated from high school in Pakistan and then came here for college. And she met her husband here, and they spent the rest of their lives here. Yes.
Okay.
And the others, our son and our younger daughter, they graduated from high school in Pakistan. And all of them then came back here. Our youngest daughter, she went to Freed Hardeman and then transferred to Harding. And Dave, our only son, he came back and went to school at Harding, graduated from Harding, and that was it for education.
Yes, I know like Paul always visits the church he planted before. He have 3 missionary trip and 1 trip to Roma. How often you visit the churches you planted in Pakistan, even in Singapore?
How often do we visit?
Yes.
Well, we lived there for 33 years in Singapore, 8 years in Pakistan, and I went back to those, after we left, I went back to visit all those places we did through all those years up until 2008. And so we were there many, many times.
But in 2019, before COVID, you also went to Pakistan again.
Yeah, I went every year.
Every year, okay. Do you have any plan in the next year?
Yeah. February, maybe, this coming year. In fact, our children, our son's already there, so our daughters and myself will go back probably in February.
Do you remember what's the last time you preached in Singapore, in Pakistan?
Yeah, it was just before COVID. Our 3 children and myself went back to Pakistan. That was 2019?
Yes.
No. So I went back, preached in the church established many years ago. And the second convert was a preacher, and still is, in Pakistan. And then prior to that, every year I'd go back to Singapore and preach.
But I have a question, maybe like more personal. You worked there, Pakistan, for 8 years. How God to lead you from Pakistan to Singapore?
Well, even when we lived in Pakistan, I used to go to Singapore to preach in meetings. And there was a school started called Four Seas College of Bible and Missions. It had been in existence for 2 years. And the principal moved, and there was an opening for somebody to lead that new college. And because I had already been going to Singapore many times, I was invited to go there as the president of that Bible college. And that's what we did. And we moved there, and then I would take visits and go back to Pakistan to visit, and then a lot of other places as president of the Bible college.
Yes.
That's the reason we went, to become the president of that school.
Because of the work opportunity, because you want to be train the pastor, the minister in this school.
Both. I was a teacher and a college administrator and missionary. All those things.
But I know before you are a businessman working in the financial field, it's a really different job. How, when you have this transition period, what do you make you to think about from this very successful position? Even you are a deacon in the Florida Church of Christ. How this happened in your life to totally different field?
The church where I served as a deacon became very evangelistic. And it was suggested that we have a lectureship in the town and at the church where I was a missionary, or not, rather I was working as a financial person. And the elders asked me to put that program together, which meant we invited missionaries from different parts of the world to come together in Florida and tell those that we gathered about missions in all of these different places. And it was a really successful program, and my family and I were excited about it, and so we decided we'd just work harder and make more money, and we could
support the church.
We could, help missionaries. I didn't expect to be the missionary. And after that program took place, a former missionary called me one night about 4 o'clock in the morning, and suggested that our family become missionaries in India.
Do you receive phone call in the 4 a.m. in the morning?
That gets your attention.
Okay.
And I thought, he's crazy. This fellow was asking me that. And we said, well, we'll think about that. And that placed that on our heart, and we just kept thinking about this and thinking about it, and finally we said, okay, that's what we'll do. So I kept my job while we made arrangements to go, and that's what we did. I resigned my job, and the church where I had been the deacon was our sponsoring church, like the church here is a sponsor for you all. Same thing. And we left, even though we didn't have a visa.
Don't know if you can arrive or not. Yes, very interesting story about you, but I hope in the future we can continue this conversation. So maybe your experience, your like a personal testimony will make more people think them useful. Maybe I can ask the last question. Is it okay?
Okay.
Because you are transition from the financial area to the Bible professor teacher, how many training process you need to prepare? Like the people in front of us, maybe they want to change change a field. They want to change a job. They want to be a gospel teacher. How can they prepare them? How long need to be a training process? How hard for this? I think you're already successful in the middle age. You need to keep this position, but you change it like.
Did not have any special training, apart from the fact that I had been a Christian since I was 12 years old. My parents were members of the church. My father was a superintendent of a factory. My mother was taking care of a household. I had no brothers or sisters, just me. And very faithful family. And then after I grew up, I went into the Army, Air Corps. And it was there that later I met my wife, Jane. And after I was discharged from the military, she and I married. And our home was in Florida. Then later we moved back to my hometown in Illinois for just a while. And then decided to move back to Florida. And we were involved with the local church in Florida. It was not a large congregation, but it was active. It's very, very good. And the instruction I had was from my parents, for others in the church that love the Lord, love the church, and so that was the instruction I had, not schooling or anything of that kind. And I needed a lot of help after we decided to become, quote, missionaries. And that worked out fine for us. I would suggest anybody who's wanting to make that their life, to study, to do have more education in the area. Be sure you know what the Bible is all about, and that'll take you a lot of places.
Yes, thank you for interview for today. Hopefully we can make a next conversation. Probably we can encourage more people in the future. Thanks to your work for Asia, even right now, support the Chinese ministry here in College Church. Thank you.
Thank you, Hai Ling.